Good morning, everybody. You're very welcome to join us this morning. This is our information session for the Ready to Rise programme. This is the second time we have run the programme, so we're really excited to be able to get the chance to do it all again. My name's Leslie Morris. I work for the Challenges Group. Some of you will have encountered me before through the Making Work suite of programmes that we also run. I'm going to hand over to my two colleagues to briefly introduce themselves and then we'll dive in. So I'll hand over to Anya first, if that's okay.
Hello and good morning. My name is Anya. I'm part of the Challenges group as well, and I will be one of the two or three of us will do the presenting in the training later on in February and March, and I'm part of the Making Work training team as well. So we provide support to women returning to work, and the Ready to Rise program is falling in the same area, and that's what we're going to do. Over to Emma.
Hello, my name's Emma. I'm an associate business advisor for Firstport, who are a national agency that deal with social enterprise, startup and funding across Scotland.
Thank you very much. So we are working very closely with Firstport on this project, and it's brilliant to be able to get together again and run Ready to Rise. So I'm just going to jump in now and start explaining our programme to you. So yeah, the purpose of today is just to give you a little bit of background information about the drivers for why this programme exists, why it was designed, a little bit about what it involves, who it's aimed at, and what kind of content we will cover when we run the training, which starts in the middle of Feb. So as we've said, myself and Anya work for the Challenges Group, and the Challenges Group is a group of social businesses. We work with the Chartered Management Institute, so all our training is recognised by them, and we provide that training across 8 countries. In Scotland, we predominantly work on Making Work, the suite of employability programmes. And as Emma said, Firstport is a charity and social enterprise which works with budding social entrepreneurs to actually make their ideas happen, make them come into reality. So everything from funding, advice, ideation and support. And we are funded to deliver this programme by the Scottish Government's Pathways Fund. So before I dive in, what I would like to do is hand over to Emma, who is just going to briefly explain what we mean when we talk about social enterprise.
Thank you. So lots of people might have heard the term social enterprise before, and there is, and I still hear it on a daily basis, different interpretations of what that means. And I think that confusion is in Scotland internationally because every country has a different definition. In Scotland, we're lucky because there's a voluntary code of practice that defines what social enterprises do and how they work. And the basis of it is really you want to do something good, whether that's social or environmental, and you want to make money in order to do that. So there's still that business side to it, and there's that impact side, whether it's social, environmental, or a bit of both. The social enterprise sector in Scotland is a lot bigger than many people think. So it contributes about 4.8 billion in total income that's generated every year. There's over 89,000 individuals working in social enterprises in Scotland. So that's a large number of opportunities for employment that you could be part of, whether you're that's employment for you or that's employment for your team. And the last social enterprise census, there's a new one due out, so this information might change in the next few weeks or months. But the last social enterprise census talked about 71% of organisations being led by women. So it's a huge space where women are having an impact, women are drawn into that values-led way of working. Another aspect of social enterprise is that over a third are rurally based. So there is this element of, so some of you have mentioned Aberdeen, which is obviously a city, but if you're in Aberdeenshire or if you're in these other rural areas in Scotland, a large number of organisations operate as social enterprises in those spaces. And you might know them. So it might be cafes, it might be consultancy businesses, it might be a little shop that you're engaging with. So there's no specific sector for social enterprise. You can be any type of business. It's just a way of being. It's about that democratic way of being values-led, having money coming in, but allowing that to be reinvested in communities and the impact that you want to do. So that's the ballpark of it.
Thanks, Emma. I was actually looking at that figure the other day of the 71%. I mean, that's phenomenal, that statistic. Women-led, it just goes to show that when women mobilize, they can make real change. So I'll jump back in. When we talk about Ready to Rise, what it actually is, it is a programme aimed at women who are potentially considering being a social entrepreneur or starting a social business. And it might be women who haven't even seriously considered it as the means to earn an income and work flexibly and achieve social impact. But we believe that by introducing more women to the social enterprise model, we can help widen participation in entrepreneurship overall. And we, because of our ethos, seek to do this in a way that fits in with your needs and values and secure the work-life blend and the income and the fulfillment that you seek in your life, that we all have every right to seek. So, as I've said, the project brings together expertise from ourselves at the Challenges Group and that of First Port. So there's a lot of really solid track records here in terms of supporting social businesses, in terms of looking at personal development, building confidence in networks and so on between our two organisations. Our aim overall is to support women to build their confidence and their networks, get really clear on what the ideal work-life blend for you will be, discover or rediscover your skill set, including things like self-management, because you're essentially thinking about running a business, and identify a potential business idea that would be of benefit, whether that's in your local community or to the broader planet or the environment or so on. If you decide to go ahead with your idea, we will help you access practical and financial support to actually test that idea. And if you decide it's not the right time for you, or it's maybe not for you after all, we will help you understand employment, volunteer training, and so on, education opportunities that are available to you. So we've got a massive network that we can help signpost you to. We can arrange mentoring and so on. So no matter what happens, if you sign up for the programme, whether you decide to go for it or decide not to, we can signpost you and support you on an ongoing basis. What you can expect from us is we take a holistic approach. So we provide interactive training, but we will give you additional support as well. So that could be signposting, as I've said, but we also will give you access to self-study and resources that you can draw on after the training has finished. We take a peer-led learning ethos, so it's definitely not about us just talking at you. We encourage interactive training that you're involved in, and we want you to learn from and support each other, because the power of that group, that peer group, is really, really crucial to the success of all our programmes. As Emma said, sector agnostic, so it doesn't matter what you're thinking about. Your area of interest can be anything. It could be running a community space or setting up a business online. It doesn't matter. We will work with you to help you build your networks and make introductions and signpost you to the support you need. And as we've also said, we are values-led and purpose-driven. So we are both social businesses as well, and we're here to not just make it happen or help you take the next step, but actually to support your fulfillment, because work is such a huge part of your life. And crucially as well, we know about flexible working and work-life blend. And when we talk about work-life blend, it's about how work fits in with the rest of your life. So we can really pass on a lot of experience, expertise to help you draw out what is going to work for you and how much time, effort, energy you have to fit work into the rest of your life. And that will obviously influence the steps you take next. So we've got a lot of information and knowledge and experience there. When we start the training, I think it's the 18th of February, we will be running training over Zoom, so just like this, on a Tuesday and Thursday morning, running from around 10 to around 12:30 to 1, so 2.5 to 3 hours per session. And yeah, starting on the 18th of February. So we'll have 4 weeks of training, 8 sessions in all. And topics we cover will include making introductions, because it's so important at the start of our programs that you get to know one another so you can build that peer support, and also it helps you to set goals and get really clear on what it is you want to achieve. This is a slightly shorter program than some of our other programs, so it's important that we get clear quickly on what it is you want to achieve. As I've said, we'll work with you to design your ideal work-life blend. We'll look at the subject of confidence and tackle that imposter syndrome that we all talk about having. We'll deep dive into flexible working, what that looks like and what that might look like if you're starting up on your own. We'll draw out your transferable skills and look at self-management techniques. So whether you become a sole trader, a one-man band, or whether you actually end up employing people, it's important to have some basic understanding of what that might look like. We will have an ideation session, so that'll be quite interactive and it's a lot of fun. And that's to actually think about the problems you're trying to solve and identify the needs, validate ideas, and understand if actually a social enterprise is the best way to tackle that issue. We'll also cover startup knowledge. So if you're clear that you definitely want to go ahead, this is about what's involved in actually taking those first steps. And then at the end of the programme, we will look back, tie it all together, make sure you're very clear on where you can find all the other information and guidance that we've spoken about, and allow you the space to define your next steps with your little cohort group of accountability partners. And as I've said, if you decide that you don't want to pursue your idea, I should say, if you decide that you want to pursue your idea, you will receive further incubation support and business advice. And if you decide you don't want to pursue your idea, we will signpost you to other information. So to be eligible for the programme, our target audience is women who live in Scotland and who are interested in thinking about exploring the possibility of establishing a social business. If you don't yet have a clear idea or a plan, that's okay, because part of the programme is about helping you draw that out and getting clear. The only thing that would exclude you is if you're already established as a social business or a community interest company, because this is about the step before it. This is about actually getting clear on, yes, I want to do this. Yes, this is right for me. Yes, I want to define my next steps. So you must be a woman in Scotland thinking about a social business. And we're aiming to support up to 20 women through the training programme. What I would say is the application process is absolutely not competitive, but we ask you to make an application so that we can be clear and you can be clear that the programme is the right one for you. Some of the questions that we've received from you when you've registered your interest for the programme, I just want to answer here the most common ones. A lot of you have asked if you can take part in the training even if you are employed, and the answer to that is yes, as long as you are able to attend the weekly online training. So we're talking about eight sessions over 4 weeks, and we do not record the training sessions because we want to create that safe, confidential space. So as long as you can fit in those 2 sessions around any other work you're doing, that is absolutely fine. Is there a cost? The answer is no. As I said at the top of the session, the programme is fully funded by the Scottish Government, so it's free for participants. When will the training be, and can I watch the sessions in my own time? Well, as I've said, the training will start in mid-Feb and run for 4 weeks, and we will not be recording it, so we would encourage you to attend the sessions live. In terms of time commitment, we run the 2 sessions of around 2.5 to 3 hours twice a week. Beyond that time commitment, you might want to carve out a couple of hours more to work on your idea, review the training materials, let it absorb. But that's really about what you can fit into your life as it is at the moment, especially if you're already working. And is one-to-one support provided? This is predominantly a group training programme, but if you do decide to take your idea forward, as I've said, we can signpost you to other support one-to-one basis from our partners. I'm not sure if I have what it takes. Will this help me decide? Yes, it will. And as I've said, not everybody who takes part in the programme will push forward to start up, and that's okay too. I already have a clear idea. Will you help me set my business up? As I've said, this is a programme targeted at women who are exploring social enterprise, so essentially at the pre-startup stage. So we can help you clarify your ideas and make the decision about whether or not to start a social enterprise. But if you already have a clear idea, I think you're already a few steps ahead of the game anyway. So we can signpost you to our friends at Firstport and Just Enterprise to help you, because you're already on your way if you have a really clear idea. And there's a full Q&A at our website, makingworkwork.scot/rise. So there's any other questions around you, your eligibility, your suitability, and a bit more information about social enterprise in general are at our webpage there. So in terms of next steps, applications as of this morning are now open. We will aim to support about 20 women, but we're not going to necessarily cut off at 20 if we get a lot of applications and there's some really great ideas there or some really great applications, but it will be around about the 20 mark. So what I would say is if you're keen, apply as soon as you can. And what we're thinking at the moment is applications will open for initially around 10 days. So until maybe Monday, the first Monday in February, which is the 3rd. If we feel that we have room for more, we might keep it open a little longer. But if we fill up really quickly, we might have to open a waiting list. So if you're keen, I would get your application in. Once applications are received, we will review them all. We will reach out to you to confirm your suitability and understand any additional support needs you might have. And in the event that we are oversubscribed, as we were last year, we will select participants based on criteria, including things like entrepreneurial aspirations, diversity of background, and diversity of location. Anybody who doesn't actually get onto the programme, as I say, will be added to a waiting list for future programmes, but we will also provide you with a package of information and support so we don't leave you hanging completely. If after today you have any questions or worries or concerns, just get in touch with us. We are here to help. We are here to support you through the process, and we want to help as many women as we possibly can. So it's not competitive. It's really about getting this programme to the people who can benefit from it the most. And that's it in a nutshell. makingworkwork.scot/rise. All the information, all the Q&As and the application form are there, and we are here to help.